I don't know what you guys feel, but ever since the president was elected, we seem to have entered into like the twilight zone. Okay. I mean, it's been mayhem and confusion ever since. And I know these ICE raids got people going crazy, but Vice Mayor Cynthia Gonzalez of Cudahy, California, has decided to hop up on TikTok and publicly call on gang members to defend the community from ICE. Listen, I'm not making it up. Check this out.
I want to know where all the cholos are at in Los Angeles, 18th Street, Florencia. Where's the leadership at? And now that your hood's being invaded by the biggest gang there is, there ain't a peep out of you.
No, ma'am. What in the cartel cosign was that? Ma'am, are you good? Are you okay? ICE is federal immigration enforcement. And here you are, an elected official on camera, inviting organized criminals to interfere with federal agents. Girl, you call the streets. And for what though? TikTok clout? Because let's be very clear, okay? This is reckless incitement. If a single ICE agent gets harmed, if a single raid goes left, they're coming for everybody. And that includes you too, Ms. Gonzalez. This was self-recorded indictment, okay? You just cooked your political career in real time, and all for what? Some TikTok clout? You gotta make it make sense. Look, Cynthia Gonzalez is not some TikTok rando, okay? She's the vice mayor of Cudahy, California. She holds a doctorate, multiple degrees, okay? And she works in education. She's been on panels with Mayor Karen Bass and is currently running for a seat on the LA Community College District Board. So she knows better. She knows how federal enforcement works. She knows ICE isn't local PD that you can just ignore. This isn't a parking ticket, ma'am. So make it make sense. And like, what exactly was the plan if they had pulled up? That's what I want to know. What if one of those gangs took her seriously and decided to, quote, defend a community? You know, the way gangs actually do with violence, intimidation, and retaliation. What was the plan? What was she going to do? Was she going to tweet a disclaimer? Hold a press conference from witness protection? Because once you put that energy out there, ma'am, once you invite street violence into a federal enforcement situation, you don't get to control what happens next. So again, I ask, what was the plan? You don't go on camera inviting gangs to interfere with ICE and think there won't be consequences. Are you nuts? You know what? Scratch that. Honestly, I'm glad she exposed herself, because someone this reckless has no business holding sway over anything tied to community safety, education, or public resources. Cynthia Gonzalez isn't just a TikTok auntie with bad judgment. She's an elected official who decides where local funding goes, what programs get prioritized, and who gets let into decision-making rooms, okay? She sits on panels, steers outreach, and shapes the city's image. So yeah, when someone like that hops online asking gang members to interfere with federal agents, it's not just embarrassing. It's dangerous. She showed us exactly who she is, and the community should definitely take note. Again, her little TikTok rant wasn't some noble act of defiance. It was cowardly. She was out of pocket and hiding behind the idea of community protection, like that made it righteous. It didn't. Let's be clear, okay? She didn't call on lawyers, educators, or clergy. She didn't call on voters or activists. She called on gang members. And not just any gangs, two of the most dangerous gangs in the area. That's not community defense. That's cartel cosplay. Let's not act like this was about the people, okay? This was about clout. And look, I ain't gonna hold you. The system already sees these men as throwaways, okay? So she was just gonna use them as political crash dummies, because she doesn't care about them either. You have to make it make sense. This was absolutely unhinged. It was unhinged. And it seems like at the end of the day, the hood stayed quiet. And she's the only one who might catch a case. What an idiot. Certified crash dummy.
I want to know where all the cholos are at in Los Angeles.
A little-known city councilwoman and vice mayor from the relatively tiny city of Cudahy, southeast of downtown, posted a now-deleted video on social media where she called out two murderous street gangs in what could be considered a solicitation of violence against federal officers.
Where's the leadership at?
Cudahy. It's in California.
Her name is Cynthia Gonzalez.
The post making the rounds nationally, starting with Fox News this morning.
These are all about territory, and this is 18th Street, and this is Florencia. You guys tag everything up, claiming hood. And now that your hood's being invaded by the biggest gang there is, there ain't a peep out of you.
I find it very interesting that an elected official in California is making a direct appeal to criminal gangs. This presupposes some kind of relationship, and I think it is very troubling. Every elected official in the United States takes an oath to uphold the law, and to invite criminals to attack law enforcement, federal or state or local, whatever, is outrageous.
Jay Johnson is the former Secretary of Homeland Security under President Obama.
You're vice mayor of a city, or when you're Secretary of Homeland Security or any other public position, you have very little space for your personal views hearing publicly. She said it, and it was not a good comment.
Radio silence from most Democrats. The city of Cudahy released a statement saying that the councilwoman spoke on her own behalf and her views did not reflect that of the city government. I'm Conan Nolan, NBC4 News.
Again, thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And until next time, bet you know now.